hidden treasure of Goa. What comes first in your mind? Surely it's Goa. Goa is a famous destination in India. It's the perfect vacation spot for everyone. The beautiful state of Goa, of rich and beautiful culture and diversity, along with the plethora of activities to be explored. But the fact is, Goa was not always a happening place. The Portuguese have ruled here for over 450 years. The ancient city Goa was a Hindu city, but now today just a fragment of Hindus remain. It was built at the southernmost point of the island of Goa. The city was famous in early legend and history with the name of Gove, Govapuri, and Gomat. The Arabian geographers knew it as Sandubur or Sandubur, and the Portuguese called it Velha Goa. Goa was ruled by the Kadamba dynasty from the 2nd century to 1312 and by Muslim invaders of Deccan from 1312 to 1367. After 1482, Goa was under the rule of Yusuf Adil Khan, the Muslim king of Bijapur. At that time, seafarers from Portugal first reached India. Goa became the capital of the entire Portuguese Empire in Asia. Epidemic cholera badly affected the inhabitants of Old Goa. That resulted in the migration of the people to Panjim. Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese navigator who voyages to India, opened up the sea route from Western Europe to the east by the way of the Cape of Good Hope. For almost a century, 1500 to 1600, the Portuguese held a monopoly on the European exploration and the trade in the Indian Ocean. Goa was known as the Rome of the East, and it boasted over 300 churches. On the 19th of December 1961, the Indian Army invaded with Operation Vijay. On the 30th of May 1987, the Union territory was split, and Goa became India's 25th state. Panjim is the capital of the state, while Vasco da Gama is the largest city of Goa. Goa's official language is Konkani. The International Film Festival of India moved its permanent venue to Goa. Wow, the Goan food! Non-veg lovers will absolutely fall in love with Goan seafood. Rice with fish curry is the staple diet in Goa. Goan cuisine is famous for its rich variety of fish dishes. Multi-layered sweets known as bibianka is a favorite at Christmas. Cashew fenai is made from the fermentation of the fruit of the cashew tree. If we talk about the water sources in Goa, it's not just the sea we're talking about. There are also 7 major rivers that also flow through Goa. Zuari and Mandovi are the 2 most important and busiest rivers in India. Here are some famous historical architecture, which is still untouched by travelers visiting Goa. Basilica of Bom Jesus, 408 years old. Konkani named Boria Jesuchi Basilica. It's a Roman Catholic basilica located in Goa. This is one of the oldest churches in Goa and in Indians. This basilica is part of UNESCO's World Heritage Site. It's located in Old Goa and holds the mortal remains of Saint Francis Xavier. This monument has emerged as a landmark in the history of Christianity. The remains of this saint are buried in the church and still attract a huge number of tourists from all over the world, especially during the public viewing of his body every 10 years, last held in 2014. Tambdi Surla Mahadev Temple. This temple was built in the 12th century in the Kadamba style, dedicated to Lord Shiva. It's considered to be the only specimen of Kadamba architecture from basalt stone. Different kinds of carvings can be seen inside this temple. Hut at Choreo, Ribanda. Choreo, also known as Chodan or Chodanum, is an island along the Mandovi River. It's the biggest among the 17 islands in Goa. Choreo is accessible by ferry from Ribanda and famous for its beautiful board sanctuary. Chapel of Our Lady of the Mountain at Goa Velha. This church is dedicated to the Virgin Mary in Old Goa. This is the oldest church in the city, built between 1510 and 1519. The chapel is located on a hill overlooking the Mandovi River. Every year in November, the chapel courtyard plays host to the popular Monte Music Festival. Rice Magos. Rice Magos is a village located on the bank of the Mandovi River in Bardas, Goa, opposite the capital city of Panjim. Here we have the famous Rice Magos Fort and Rice Magos Church. This church is the first church in Bardes. Rice Magos is the Portuguese name for the three wise men from the Bible. Church of St. Augustine, Goa. The church was built on top of the Monte Santo, the Holy Hill, between 1597 and 1602. It's a ruin of a church, a complex in Old Goa. This church was considered as one of the three great Augustinian churches in the Iberian world. The church was abandoned in 1835. The subsequent neglect caused the vault of the church to collapse in 1842. In 1931, the facade of the church and half of the tower collapsed, and by 1938 most of the remaining parts had also collapsed. It remains, and it's one of the most visited tourist attractions in Goa. Interestingly, the ruins were featured in the song Gumnam Hai Koi from the movie Gumnam and Saithya from the Bollywood hit Singham. Arch of Viceroy. It's also known as Viceroy's Arch and was erected in 1599 in Goa by Viceroy Francisco de Gama, the grandson of Vasco da Gama. The arch was restored in 1954 after it faced collapse. The side that faces the city has a sculpture of a European woman wearing a crown and a robe, holding a sword in one hand and an open book. The Three Kings Chapel is a lonely church located at the top of a hill called Kuliam in Kan Solim in South Goa. There are millions of exciting stories and legends about this church. This place is known to be haunted, and the spirits of the kings still wander over the church. There have been a number of claims about the mysterious paranormal experiences that visitors have had at the church. Post-sunset, visitors are not allowed on the church ground. Mountain View near Molam, Sai Adri mountain range. Western Ghat in Goa, also known as the Sahyadri, are a north-south chain of mountains or hills that mark the western edge of the Deccan Plateau region. Some of the world's oldest rocks are found in this region and date back almost 3,600 billion years. Fort Tiracol, an ode to Goa's patriots. This fort is located in the northern Goa, where the name derives from the Tiracol River and flows in an east-west direction. It's been a major stop for weekenders. Fort de Corgium Aldona. It's a fortress situated at the village Aldona on the river island of Corgium, Goa. It was a military fortress for the defense of the Portuguese India. Aldona village is separated by the Mapuka River. This fortress is made of pitted laterite, and it was built in 1705 by the Portuguese as a defense against the Marathas aggression. Originally, it was occupied by the Brahmins of Sankol, but it was raided by the Maratha in the late 1600s, who later transferred control to Sawant Boazol of Sawantwadi. In the early 1800s, the fort was used as a military school. Safa Mosque. It's also known as Safa Shahuri Mosque, located at Ponda, Goa. It's an Islamic monument built in the 16th century. The mosque was built in 1560 by Ibrahim Adil Shah I. The mosque has a complex which consists of gardens and fountains. The mosque has a rectangular prayer hall. Anmod Ghat. Anmod is a village in Karnataka, state at Goa-Karnataka border. This village lies on the Belgaum-Goa road route. Some of the oldest rocks in India are found in Anmod on Goa's border, which is estimated to be 3,600 million years old. Forest trekking, elephant rides and tribal music can be enjoyed there. Goa has been the tourist attraction for beaches, water sports, sacks, seafood and churches. So, plan your next vacation to Goa and enjoy this beautiful state and experience the blissful surprise.